They are the impeachment 10, the only House Republicans who voted to punish then-President Donald Trump after January 6th. So, where are they now? Well, one has already been felled. Another survived. Barely. Likely thanks to a state's primary system. And 4 others, they decided months ago they wouldn't even bother running again. That leaves 4 of the impeachment 10 still on the chopping block. And with the blockbuster January 6th hearings in the backdrop, what are their prospects? Let's go inside the forecast. 2 of the impeachment 10 have already had their primaries. Congressman Tom Rice was ousted in South Carolina's Republican primary by the Trump-endorsed Russell Fry, who said Rice had turned his back on the voters of the district by voting to hold Trump responsible for the violence on January 6th. Congressman David Valadao had the opposite outcome, advancing to the general election in California's Central Valley. He earned only 26% of the vote in June's all-party primary. But that was just good enough for second place, and a spot in the general election against Democrat Rudy Salas. The last 4 face the voters and Trump's wrath in August. Like Valadao, Congressman Peter Meijer of Michigan is running in a tough district, this one based in Grand Rapids. President Joe Biden carried it by 9 points in the last election. Trump got behind John Gibbs, who served in his administration. But Gibbs has struggled to raise money and build a robust campaign against Meijer, an Iraq War veteran who's touting his record in public service without mentioning impeachment. Staying mum on the issue may help Meijer in the primary, in a district I have rated as a toss-up. A Meijer victory would boost Republicans' chances of keeping the seat, but a Meijer defeat could lead to the GOP losing it in November. The Washington state races will be run under the same system as California. All the candidates run together on one ballot, with the top 2 finishers advancing to the general election. This can get messy. In Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler's Southwest Washington district, there are 5 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and 2 third-party candidates on the ballot. Trump's pick against Herrera Butler is Joe Kent, an Army veteran with ties to far-right groups. So far, Herrera Butler is focusing her campaign on her efforts to fight inflation and hitting Kent for supporting cuts to Social Security. On paper, Herrera Butler's seat is competitive. Trump won it only narrowly by about 4 points. I have it as lean Republican for now, but it would move even further into the red column if Herrera Butler snags one of those 2 general election spots. Herrera Butler wasn't just a bit player in Trump's second impeachment. She also publicized a conversation she had with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
And the president's response to Kevin, to me, was chilling. He said, well, Kevin, I guess they're just more upset about the election, theft than you are.
Dan Newhouse is another Washington state impeachment backer facing a challenging primary, though his district, which Trump won by about 17 points, isn't that competitive. I have it rated as likely Republican. Trump endorsed Lauren Culp, a former gubernatorial candidate and small-town police chief who's repeated Trump's 2020 election lies and insisted, rather laughably, that his own 13-point defeat was illegitimate. For his part, Newhouse is still trying to court conservative voters. His ads feature tough stances on China, inflation, and policing. But he's also starting to attack Culp's ethics and record as police chief, a move that suggests the challenger may be gaining some traction. The Meijer, Herrera Butler, and Newhouse primaries are all on the same day, August 2nd. 2 weeks later, it's the big one. Congresswoman Liz Cheney's race in Wyoming. Cheney isn't hiding from her impeachment vote. She's arguably the face of the January 6th committee and one of the main architects of its investigation. Polls suggest the race might not even be close. And that's why the Cheney campaign is trying to change the electorate, hoping to convince the state's few and far between Democratic voters to switch parties and help her hold off the Trump-endorsed Harriet Hageman. It's an uphill climb for Cheney, who's Trump's most vocal Republican critic. But if the other 3 impeachers survive their August primaries, it could suggest that Trump's hold on the party isn't as strong as it was when he was in the White House, right as he prepares to launch a 3rd consecutive campaign. Until next time, I'm Steve Shepard.